Right, let's get start with the introduction. So I'm Satish. I would be the trainer for your session, and I have 10 plus years of experience into cloud and DevOps. I started my career as cloud developer, and then I started as a developer where I was just doing the backend development and cloud development part, and then I have moved to cloud platform engineering. I was doing the containerization for the applications, app modernizations with modern infrastructure, which is DevOps on cloud, and I have also implemented a very complex infrastructure on Azure. So that's where my experience is. I will be leading your session, and this course is all about Azure administration. You guys must already be aware about what is Azure and maybe at least a basic thing. But here we are going to start from zero, starting from the basic knowledge on how cloud principle works, and then we see about the pricing, how we will get started with our Azure administrator till we go for the complete administration on the Azure part. We are going to cover the Azure certification, which is AZ104. AZ104 primarily focusing on the administration part. It is like doesn't have any programming. I know many of you who was came here basically might be not comfortable with programming, wanted to go for the administration. This is all about complete administration, no much programming involved, but some command lines you might get used. It's up to you. If you want to go with the programming of this, you can actually, after this course, you can explore the automation part of this cloud. That's again a very very high demand in the market, right? So that's all about myself and the course, and I would be interested to get each one of you to introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself. Just you can say you're from, and you can say what's your current role and what is the expectation on this course. That's important, right? So maybe I'll call out the name which is there in my list as a reverse list. I'll go from down to top. Right, please introduce yourself. Whatever the expectation that you have, you can clearly place it here. And this session we will use a demo session. We will use it to keep everyone understood about like the expectation about this course. What are we gonna see in this course, and the basic concepts of what we will be covering here. If you're from little advanced, or if you're from basic, feel free to keep your expectation up, post your expectation, right? Okay, let me start with Vijay. Hey, Vijay.
Yeah. Hi Satish, good morning. Myself Vijay. Yeah, I'm
Hey.
basically based out of Bangalore, working as a middleware support and administration guy in an MNC from last 7 years. So I just want to
Awesome.
switch my career to cloud things. So I'm just looking
Okay.
for an Azure side, either administration or DevOps. So this is what I wanted to learn from you guys.
Awesome. Awesome, Vijay. Thank you very much. That's a good start because you are already into middleware and you wanted to switch into cloud, which is a
Yeah,
really cool thing where you will have a lot of understanding already, but at least this will give you a good start on your career. And yeah, it's about learn the cloud part first, then go with DevOps. You go step by step. That's suggested.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vijay.
yeah. Thanks, Satish.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Samir, Sinha.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Satish.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. So I'm working as a cloud pre-sales consultant in HCL, and I'm
Awesome.
also based out of Bangalore. So I do
Okay,
have
great.
a few certifications in the AWS part. I'm well aware about AWS, but I
Awesome.
wanted to
Mhm.
also learn Azure because Azure is
Oh,
also equally important. So that's I'm going to
eh,
have a fresh start in Azure.
awesome. And that's really great, Samir. You said you're in pre-sales and getting into the concept which will help you for your client dealing skills, right? That's awesome. Thank you very much, Samir.
Thanks.
Rizwan. Here is one.
Hello.
Here is one. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I'm basically from Mumbai, and actually, right now, I have 2 years of experience in a software testing.
Hmm.
And actually, right now, I want
Awesome.
to switch my career as a Azure admin as well as DevOps.
Awesome. Oh, cool. That's a good start, Rizwan. All the best. Thank you very much. Ravi?
Hi, Satish, Ravi here, and
Hey,
currently
Ravi.
I'm working in Oracle DB and Oracle Apps DB, and as well as the AWS and DevOps and MySQL and Redshift also. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for that, as per client requirement. So they are switching to some databases to Azure. So that's what I'm
Okay.
looking for, that Azure. And Satish, I have a question here also.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
can I can I I'm not yet aware of the Azure admin. So can I go
Mm-hmm.
for directly to Azure DevOps, or else I need to take Azure admin also, in separately.
Okay.
So this
It's
is
a
my
very good
question. Yeah,
question. Yeah,
yeah,
that's actually a very good question because many people confuse that like, should we go for the Azure DevOps first, right? So the very first thing, how Microsoft has it designed, their architecture basically, if you want to go for any knowledge on app side or DevOps side, infra is a base, and this covers the complete understanding of the very basic. This is a very first level certification. You can directly
okay,
go there, but if you directly go there, lot of understanding you will miss when you are not going for this in administration part. So what happens is, this is not just only about, like, if you're going for the administration role, I need to only look for AZ104. If you're going for DevOps role, the prereq
mm,
is basically 104, AZ104, which is administration. Why I'm saying is, let's say you're gonna design some pipeline which is gonna be deployed on Azure infrastructure, which is going to completely on infrastructure provisioning or blue green deployment, or whatever that you do with your Azure infrastructure, right? I mean, Azure DevOps, right? That needs a
correct. Yes,
base of Azure administration. If you do
right.
not know the administration part, and if you're directly going there, you will miss a lot of concepts, which is like the
Correct.
fundamental is this. So that's
Right.
one thing which I would like to clear. If you are going for there, get this knowledge and go there. that's
Sure.
that's always, like, you will follow the best practices. You will also understand what is the efficient way to do some sort of task which we are getting in our the DevOps role, right?
Yep.
So that's where
Cool.
it is.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ravi. Ramya Satyanarayanan.
Hi Satish, I'm Ramya
Hey, Ramya.
Satyanarayanan. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas. I'm
Awesome.
a SAP FICO functional consultant. I want to explore about Azure Admin.
Okay, awesome. So SAP to Azure Admin, which is actually a good switch. People who are I've seen that people who are already into SAP, what is that SAP? There are a lot of things inside that, right? BW, something like that. I am not aware about the SAP technology at all, to be honest. But people are switching to cloud because they wanted to understand uh, their application to be migrated into Azure client expectation or something like that. That's actually good, but yeah, it is a good start for you. You can learn on this. Thanks, Samya. uh,
Um, Satish, I want
yeah.
to say something. Like I'm not a technical person. I'm a functional consultant. I hope
Okay.
I'm in the right path now.
Yes, you should be able to get this because this course is designed in such a way that you get it from zero. It's not that you already need to have a prerequisite knowledge. This AZ104 is basically starting from zero and getting you to the administration role basically. So you
Sure.
don't have to worry about that if you do not have some the prerequisite knowledge or something. You do not have to worry about it. I'll take care of that.
Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem. Thank you. Kusuma, I think you're unmuted, but I'm not able to hear you. Hey, can you hear me? I think you're unmuted, but I'm not able to hear you. If you feel any difficulties to talk, you can just leave a text. No problem, Kusuma. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you should be able to hear me. Right. Thank you. I'll move to Krishna. Hey, Krishna.
Right.
Uh,
Hello.
Krishna, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yes,
can hear
yes,
you
yes. Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So,
now. Hey, good
my
morning.
name is Krishna Swamy. I'm into travel industry from last 5 years. So, I am planning to switch to IT industry. So, I choose this
Awesome.
Azure.
Awesome. So you are in travel
Thank you.
industry. Very
Yes,
nice.
yes, yes.
But so this IT industry, when you start moving, people come to cloud technology because they have good hope on this. But one thing I suggest, Krishna, the consistency on the learning and the hands-on is very important. So whatever we do here,
Sure, sure.
maybe you must have into different field completely, but here the consistency
Sure.
is very important. The people, I've seen many people start with a very enthusiastic career, but in between, for you, since you're from a completely different domain, you might feel
Yeah.
little bit of difficulties to understand some concept. Whenever you feel that, feel
Okay.
free to keep me posted. I will help you in
Sure,
all the way
sure,
whatever is possible. But
sure,
I
sure,
would
sure.
I would
Definitely.
recommend, please help me with all the hands on what we are gonna do here. This course is completely we are gonna focus on hands on. I'm not gonna just show you the theory part, just showing one PPT every time, just taking you the theory part. I'm not gonna do in that way. I'm gonna completely take you in the hands on way. So you need to do the
Okay.
hands on. When you touch and do it, you will feel the experience basically. So I
Okay.
suggest you
Thank you.
on this, just a suggestion, because that's very important. Because when you are
Sure.
switching, right, you will get a lot of advice from everybody, because you will seek for suggestions with everyone. You will get a lot of advice, but only thing what I'm saying is, wherever it is, stick with one thing, and you keep do the hands on. That's very important. All right. And
Sure,
everything will
sure,
give you
sure.
definitely a good knowledge, will definitely give you good knowledge, good career, definitely. All right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Chandu, I see two Chandu, one Chandu and Chandu Kolano. So I'll start with Chandu Kolano.
Yeah, hi. Can you able to hear me now?
Yes, perfectly, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Hi, Satish. Good morning, and all the joiners. Very good morning. Myself, Chendu, and I'm a Linux system administrator.
Awesome.
So, as a Linux system administrator, it is very important to learn any or master in any cloud technology. So, which is why I chose
Exactly.
this one.
Awesome. The I mean, you understood the way where you have to grow, right? That's really awesome, Chandu, and this is a good start. All the best for you. Thank you very much, Chandu.
Th- Thank you. Thanks a lot.
There's one more, Chandu. Can I ask you to introduce? I see you unmuted, but I'm not able to hear you anything. Okay, I'm not able to hear you, Chandu. If you feel difficult, you can leave text. I think Kusuma had left a text. Okay, basically non-IT, awesome. I work pharma. Okay, cool. So the same thing which I was telling to Krishna, when you're coming from non-IT, this is actually a perfect start. I will help you in all the way, whatever you need for the learning about this Azure Administrator. The only thing is I'm expecting from you is do the hands-on continuously, regularly. Don't leave any session in between. Just be the consistent on this. That's it. And all the very best, Kusuma. Thank you. Chandu, I'm letting you to text. I know that some issue with your audio. Thanks. Aslam.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah.
Sir, I am from my native is Vijayawada. I'm in Chennai, working
Okay.
in CSS as a ops in ops team in L1 operations.
Awesome.
So my project will run on an I mean cloud environment only. recently we
Okay.
migrated to AWS to Azure. So I
Okay.
don't have
Okay.
any
Awesome.
knowledge in cloud as I am in L1 operations. So
Okay.
I'm willing to learn Azure.
Okay.
So may I
Awesome.
know the
That's a good start.
validity of
Hmm.
this course?
You mean validity as in as long as you keep it in your
Sorry,
mind,
sir.
that's valid. So when you mean the certification validity,
Yes, yes, sir.
so when you pursue the certification is on Azure. With Microsoft, you will write your certification, and that has 2 years of validity.
I mean 104.
Sorry,
104.
110.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You're asking about the certification, right? Microsoft certification. Actually, Microsoft certification, if you write, right? So don't keep it in mind that it has some validity. What I suggest is when once you get certified, you are certified. Again and again, you might get recertification, but you can keep it as certified. It's not a problem. Like, I have done many certification long back. Till now I say that I'm certified. That's something that as long as you are keep in touch with that technology, you can say that the certification validity is like, it's just for the client representation. When you want to produce a certificate to client that I'm certified, then at least at that time it is needed. But knowledge matters. But do not talk about like, much on the certification validity part. Why I'm saying is, first get the knowledge, get certified, and then you will obviously in a very nice path in future.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
And second thing, very
Okay.
very nice thing is, you already have an opportunity to work on the cloud because your client is using that.
Yes, like,
So
yes,
learn
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
You have a very nice environment. Learn it.
If
Get some
certified
hands
like
on.
L2 team, that is
Exactly.
the reason.
And you will have very nice career in future,
Okay,
right?
sir.
Thank you
Yes,
very
sir. Yes.
much, Asla. Thank you. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Arjun.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Arjun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Arjun. I'm working in Infosys. I'm working
Awesome.
as I'm working as Linux administrator, and I also worked on Control M tool. Uh,
Okay. Awesome.
I want to
Awesome.
get into Linux admin. This Azure admin now. I want to
Azure admin.
learn.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
what is the
cool. So that's a good career path, right? Like, since you're a Linux administrator, and this will be like, add-on skills for you, which is actually a good direction. And this AC104 will suit for you because you have a operating system and cloud knowledge, which is actually good. I mean, most wanted profiles in the market recent days, right?
okay?
Yep. Any questions, Arjun? You are about to ask some question.
What's the duration of the course like?
So duration, we basically have at least 5 to 6 week.
Okay,
I do not fix it as just 5 week or 6 week, because what I suggest is, as long we focus on the topics, we focus on the hands-on. As long as if you guys are picking up all the things very faster, and I'll just move ahead. If need some topic to be focused more, that you have some doubts or something, we'll spend some time. But the approximate time would be like 5 weeks.
okay,
Is what I would say. All right.
okay. Yeah, the timings will be
Timings we will discuss, because we need to discuss with everyone about the timing.
okay,
Mostly it will be like, in the morning, like, we'll keep it in the regular time. Will
okay,
It will not affect anyone, right? We will
okay,
get a suggestion from everyone, and we will have it. All right.
okay. Yeah,
The people will contact you individually, so do not
okay,
worry about that.
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you very much, Arjun.
Yeah.
Abhishek.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm Abhishek. I am senior sysadmin. Uh,
Awesome.
yeah, I do Windows. I do pretty much all. Um
Mm-hmm.
I have little experience on Linux, and as a passed down knowledge of Azure, because we
Mm-hmm.
have a pretty good footprint on Azure cloud. So
Okay.
I just wanted to take this as a structured approach, a
Mm-hmm.
curriculum based what Microsoft prescribed. That is why I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah. So primarily you're focusing on the certification immediately after this, right? On this. So that's one thing which I
That
suggest. Hmm.
yeah, that that's the short term plan. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good actually. Like whoever completes this course, right? Everybody, I suggest immediately take your exam. You know why? Because some people say that after the course I'll take a month to prepare and then take it. What I suggest, uh, just finishing your course, take 2 weeks of time at max, finish your certification, because then you are like certified Azure administrator, where you can easily switch for job or easily get internal projects or easily apply for the outside market. That's very important stuff. I will help you for the exam preparation. Here one thing I need to clarify: we are going to see about all the topics what is needed for your certification, but on the hands on way, not on the theoretical way. But one thing very importantly, for exam, you also need to prepare theoretical part. I will give you all the materials where you can collect it, and also I will suggest you the direction where you need to attend your exam. I will also get some dumb question, I will help you to get some dumb question, and that's on my personally, I have many students who are already writing, and they write some recent exams. They share it with me. I will share whatever the materials that I have. All right, so that will help you for your exam preparation also, right? So after the
That's great.
yeah, yeah, that's one thing I usually do for all my students, because people are interested to write the exam after finishing the course because they want to get certification. So I'll help you out all the way of getting your materials and things like that. All right. Yep, thanks, Abhishek. Did I leave anyone? Abdul, hey Abdul, sorry, you're on top. Sorry, I had to scroll you. Yeah, yeah, Abdul, go ahead. Abdul, you unmuted, but I couldn't hear you. Uh, Abdul, maybe you're talking, but I'm not able to hear because some issue with, maybe connectivity or something. But let me know. You can keep it in text. Oh, okay, no problem, Abdul. I can understand. You can leave a text about your introduction and your expectation. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I think let everyone to introduce, and thanks for that. So, what are we going to see in this today's demo? I'll just go through the syllabus. What we will be covering in this course. This is purely based on the Microsoft syllabus, but what we will be covering is full of hands-on way. And I will talk about all the technical terms within Azure. Don't get confused, or don't feel that you don't get any jargons here, whatever I'm explaining. Don't worry about it, because each and every topic we are going to look at detail here. So when I say that some topics I'm going to explain here, do not worry if you don't know about it, right? Because anyway, here we are here to learn about the complete Azure part, right? So yeah, so we will start with it. So I'll just give you the overall view of what is how the syllabus is, and I'll also show you like how the Microsoft has designed their curriculum and what are we going to cover, and after this, how you can get into the Azure certification and jobs. How do you go for it? So you can have any questions, keep me posted. You if you have any questions, keep me posted. All right, so we start with the overview of Azure. Before this, the very first session, we will start with our introduction to cloud. Before this, I have not added this because this syllabus is fully focusing on the Azure part. So before this, the first class, I'll focus on how the cloud computing works. What is cloud computing? Why we need to go for cloud term, and the basic terminologies which you need to understand about what is cloud. That is very, very important. So before going all this topic, we'll start with the introduction about cloud computing, how the cloud computing evolved, and where are we right now in the cloud era, right? And then we start with the Microsoft Azure, because when you say cloud computing, it is common, and we have a lot of cloud providers in the market. Cloud infrastructure, if you see, there are a lot of companies are providing. You guys must be knowing already: AWS, Azure, Google, IBM, Oracle. Everyone's giving the cloud computing services. But why we should specifically go for Azure? What's there in Azure that we should really understand? Because that's where you can understand your market, right? After learning this, do we really have market? What kind of market we have it? What skills we need to have it? So that we need to understand that. very initially. So in the first session, we understand about the cloud computing in the perspective of Azure, and then we talk about the Azure introduction. So when we say Azure, we need to understand how the Azure global infrastructure is configured. What is global infrastructure? Basically, across the world, we are using Azure across the world. So when we say across the world, then really across the world, Microsoft Azure is spreaded their data centers. Yes, we need to understand their architecture, how they evolve their business across the world. We should understand it, because when you start working, you might work for the client who is in Singapore, who is in US, who is in Australia, who is in Ireland, right? So we need to understand globally, is it having a common principle, or how it is going to work, right? So something that you need to understand. And about what is Azure Resource Manager, Azure subscriptions. So basically, you can have a question that how are we going to use Azure? So for this course, I request everybody to create your account on your own, right? You have to create your account. You have to create your account. It is actually Azure is giving some free subscription. You have to create your own email ID and password, get the subscription. You need to have a credit card to create your account. I think debit card is not accepted. Credit card, you need to have it. You can create your account, and using that free trial account, we can use it. Free trial doesn't mean that completely free. There are some things are charged. I will tell you what is chargeable, what is not charged. You can whatever is chargeable service which we need to learn, will spend as a very minimal amount, like maybe 1 rupee or 5 rupees max to max. But that is something that you can ask for the waive off also. So do not worry about that. Okay. Now coming to the subscription, what kind of subscription we are going to do? We are going to use a free subscription, free trial subscription, and we will practice all our concepts in our Azure account, right? And we talk about Azure resources. How do we organize Azure resource? When we say resource, what do you mean by resource? Anything that you create on Azure is resource, which means a server, or storage, a network component, a firewall rule, anything that we create is called as resource. How we are going to organize our resource properly in Azure is what we will talk about in our resource group. How do we manage the resource group and create the resource groups and all the concepts? Then we are going to talk about the infrastructure in Azure, because this AZ104 purely on the Azure infrastructure. We need to understand about the infrastructure part of Azure, right? So we are going to talk about various infrastructure component, virtual machine, storage, network, firewall, monitoring, a lot of things. Now, what is virtual machine? Virtual machine, if you guys don't aware, I mean, many of you must be aware at least what is virtual machine, but here we are going to see what is the architecture of virtual machine, why we need to go for Azure virtual machine, and what are the various types of virtual machine has been provided, and what are the features are being provided in Azure virtual machine. That is something we will discuss very detailedly here, because every business needs different kinds of server. Let's say Chandu wants to start his own company. Maybe it's a game development company. Now, when the game development company needs a big server, where that server requirement is different, what kind of requirement they might need? Good GPU, the graphical processing unit with a good powerful machine. Now, Krishna wants to start his own maybe startup on stock market analytics. When you say stock market analytics, it's all going to be real time data. Then you need a good memory. Your his infrastructure is fully focusing on good memory. So we need to have a different kind of virtual machines available in Azure, so that we can opt for it. So what kind of things are being provided, and what we need to opt for? All the studies we will do detailing about the virtual machine. And also we need to choose the right configuration for the virtual machine. You know why? As I told you, depends on the business requirement. How do we choose what kind of virtual machine, what kind of configuration? We will understand on this all under this virtual machine topic, right? Azure Calculator is just a small thing which you need to understand, but very importantly need to understand why. Because everything what we are going to use Azure in Azure, right, it's basically costed. It's not free. Everything is going to be costed. So when I say it is costed, right? So are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Are you guys not? I mean, you can see my syllabus, right? Whatever I'm
Yes,
sharing.
sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. See, guys, if you guys had a pass that you lost my voice or you lost the screen, immediately keep me posted, maybe in the message, or you can unmute and talk, because what happens is, since we are remote, there are some logical issues might happen. Do not worry about it. Immediately keep me posted that we can resolve it. All right. Thank you very much for confirming, guys. Right. So
Not
Azure
able to
Calculator is
see the
very. You're not able to see the screen. I am not sure. How many of you are not able to see the screen? Is it only Rizwan?
Satish, it is visible. So I have one doubt that, so can you provide the recordings after the meeting?
Yes. We will definitely give you the recording. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you.
You will get the videos. So every session is recorded. You will get the videos. All the videos you guys can keep it for your hands-on practices. Right? So you will get the recordings. But I hope, maybe if you're not able to see, I can.
Satish, no, it is not visible.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I just rejoined. Let me get the control. Uh, just a minute, guys. I need to contact the. I need to contact Visualpath. I don't have permission to share. Yeah, I have contacted. Just give me a minute, guys. I'm sorry for the stop in between. Just give me a minute. I have to get permission to share. Guys, can you see my screen? Can you confirm me?
Yes, it is visible.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome. Thanks everyone. Yep. So Azure Calculator is to calculate the pricing, basically like what the cost estimation for your Azure services, what you're trying to use, because everything depends on the cost. Now, whatever the server that you're opting for, the server will have a different configuration, but depends on your budget, your account budget, right? Maybe your project will have some budget to opt for the servers. So how do we opt for the servers within our budget? Whether it comes under our budget or should we extend our budget, everything is going to be on the cost. Azure Calculator will help you to calculate the cost for the services. And very important service is storage, because so far you guys must be knowing that every day we are using cloud, right? On our mobile we are using our cloud storage every day. But the cloud storage, whatever we use, all we know about cloud is on like storage, right? Because we are using it every day. But that storage, how do we use in our Azure account is what we are going to see. The storage has different types. We are using the block storage. We are using object storage. We are using like a file storage, meaning the file share. So different kinds of storage we have it. How the Azure storage is going to be organized with the different concept is what we will be completely seeing in this Azure storage, which talk about how do we create the storage account, how do we manage the storage account, what are the different tiers we have, the pricings we have, not just based on the pricings, what are the different settings that we can offer. Now I want to share a temporary permission to everyone. Let's say there is a link I need to share with everyone. If I make the file as public, everyone can access it, but I want to set the time that next to 1 hour I want to give the permission. How can I give the permission to everyone next 1 hour, right? So that is something we will be talking in this Azure storage part, and then we go to the networking. Very importantly, guys, very important thing. One thing you need to understand: we are not going to go in the same order which is given in this syllabus. This is just covering the topics. We will go in the way that, like what you understand. In the same way, I will try to take you forward. Okay, don't worry that why networking is later and the storage is before, but you're taking networking very first. Don't get confused in that way. I will organize in the way that you can easily understand. Okay, don't worry about it. And we talk about Azure networking, which is very very important. What is uh, you know what is Azure networking? Let's say in a larger infrastructure, few of you are working in US, few of you working in India, few of you working in Australia, for different team, but different team wants to have a kind of a different kind of infrastructure, but all of you want to interact with each other in a private network. Then that needs a networking knowledge. So here we will talk about the complete Azure networking. And if you don't know about networking part, basically people might come back, right? Say that like I want to have a networking knowledge, but I do not have basic knowledge on cloud or basic knowledge on networking. How can I get to know that? Don't worry about it. Here we will start from very zero and how the Azure networking is going to work. And then we talk about the general administration task, because as a cloud engineer, one thing you need to understand: the cloud setup, infrastructure setup is once. Customer is going to use it or you're going to use it, whatever it is. You can use it, but it's going to be a maintenance task after that, right? How we will increase the storage, how we will manage the virtual machine, how we will keep the servers active and running, and shut down every day evening 7 o'clock. How do we take a backup every day evening 10 o'clock, something like that, right? So those are all a kind of general administration task. How do we additionally add the disk, how do we remove the disk, how do we manage it? All kind of general administration we'll talk about. And then we talk about the high availability services. Very importantly, what is high availability? When I start my business, I need to make sure my application is always available to my end users, the customers. Now how can I make sure that one application running properly without any issues, always up and running? So that is with the high availability service. We have in Azure called as availability sets and availability zone, Azure scale sets. These are all the concept of like helping you to do the auto scaling or making it available to the infrastructure, making it available to the customer, right? So how we will make sure that availability sets, availability zones, scale sets are being implemented in Azure? That's very important. So this concept is not a separate concept we will talk about. We will talk time to time during the, let's say, the skill sets is going to be applied on the virtual machine. What is virtual machine? When we provision a server, how we will enable the skill sets. So while talking in the virtual machine concept, we will understand about how the auto scaling works, how we will set the availability sets, availability zones. So those topics we will cover in the virtual machine topics. And very importantly, as a Azure disaster recovery topic, why disaster recovery is important? Because let's say for the business continuity, now continuously I need to make sure my business is running, whereas there is a flood in Mumbai, whereas my data center is in Mumbai. How can I get my disaster recovery completed? How can I design that? So all these things we'll discuss here. Okay, I'll take a pass right here. Do you guys have any questions so far? Guys, any questions? Keep me posted. Do you guys have any questions? Again, I'm telling, if you do not understand that, hey, Satish, what are you talking about? I do not understand all the terms. Very few terms I understand, but not all the terms. Don't worry about it. Each and every topic we're going to see detailedly. So don't have to worry about it in that way. But any questions before moving to the next thing? All right, I'll move ahead. So next we will talk about the security groups. This is basically the firewall rule, that how we will protect our server from the unauthorized access. So how do we design our security groups? How do we enable it? How do we configure our inbound rule and outbound rule, where who can access my server, who should not access my server, right? So those are the things we will cover in the network security group. And importantly, the PaaS services. If you don't know about PaaS is platform as a service. This is a basic cloud terminology. We will talk about it tomorrow, like how in the first class we'll talk about how the cloud is categorized, what are the types of services. This is one of the service, whereas where you get your platform as a service, I'll explain you about this completely. But there is a services provided in Azure. We will talk about it, how the app services are working in Azure. And the recovery service is very important. Why? Because when we lose something in our customer data, let's say we have all our customer data, and I want to store it in a vault where I know I need to have a recovery services. I want to recover it from take a backup, and later I want to recover it from that backup what I've taken. So how do we do that in Azure? We'll take a talk in this recovery services. We talk about the SQL DB, where we have a database as a service in Azure, which means I am a database administrator. I want to focus on my database operation rather than just focusing on the infrastructure part. So Microsoft Azure is giving you a ready service called as database as a service, where you can start directly using the SQL database. How do we create our SQL database? How do we configure? How do we connect using SSMS? Those things we will talk in this Azure, but purely on this infra part, not on the DBA part. Don't ask me how to create a table in a SQL. That is not our job, because we are infrastructure, right? We are not a DBA. We are not going to design any database things here. We will talk about so whatever we are seeing here, we are talking on the infrastructure part. If you ask me, hey Satish, how do I create the database in SQL? I know, but it's not covered in this infrastructure part. It is something that generally I can suggest you on the DBA part, but I'm not a good DBA, because I know the basic stuff of DBA, but not extensively worked on the DBA. Right, and very important topic in Azure is AAD, Azure Active Directory Services. Why? Because that's a very nice service provided by Azure. That's why, people are moving towards Azure, because it is uh, wherever you have your infrastructure should be protected with a restricted access. Now, all 19 of you basically, working in my company, right? Just think that you're all working in my company, and I need to give you access. I need to make sure that Krish is getting a proper access, what is relevant to him, right? I'm not going to give a complete administration permission or complete storage permission or something like that. Just like that, I should not give the permission. I should give a proper permission. And then Ravi agreed me to work from US, and he suddenly logs in from France location. I suspected that there is a suspicious login attempt in the name of Ravi from France, because Ravi is in US. then how can we protect our account properly? That is something we manage completely with this Azure Active Directory. I'll talk about how do we create the users, how do we assign the permission, how do we properly enable the security in our account, how do we enable the multi-factor authentication. All these things we'll talk in our Azure AAD part. Then very important service is Azure monitoring. So what is Azure monitoring? Azure monitoring helps you to configure the monitoring for all the services. Why monitoring is important in our cloud infrastructure? Because let's say you have thousands of virtual machines and networks, something in your company for your customers. Such a big infrastructure, complex infrastructure you're working. You cannot go individually to all the server and check for the CPU utilization, whether it will go down or it will just come at peak at a time. You may not know that, right? So you need to have a monitoring services configured. Only then you will be able to understand that, exactly. Yeah. So only that you will be able to understand that whether the server is configured properly, infrastructure is working properly. If there is a case that CPU utilization goes higher, you need to immediately get notification. And how we will get it? If we configure, we will get it, right? So how do we configure the monitoring solutions is what we'll primarily see here. And the troubleshooting techniques, and very important guys, this is not a separate topic. This time to time we will see whenever we are looking at the virtual machine concept, server concept, networking concept. For all the topic, we'll see how the troubleshooting works, right? So this is all about, like, what we will be covering in this course. This is about complete Azure administration part, right? Now, any questions? No, no, not necessarily, Ravi. It is not needed. Here we will talk about the infrastructure perspective of database administration. You need not to know about any database related concepts. There's nothing directly dealt with, DBA role here. So don't worry about it. Okay, so it's not a mandatory skill or needed skill for us. Yeah. Any questions, folks? Any questions, comments? Anything that you feel you can talk? You get a time to clarify all your doubt. Then when we start the session, we will go ahead with our all our topics. No, Bala, I cannot hear you. Maybe it's my issue. Others can hear Bala. Or can you guys talk? Can someone of you
No,
talk? Because
we cannot hear Bala.
oh, okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, Samir.
I cannot hear Bala.
Okay, cool. Bala, can you text because Azure. Yeah. So for that, yeah, Abdul. So basically, first you need to know the infrastructure part, then you can get into the security part. So whoever wants to get into the domain specific something like DevOps or security, this is a fundamental one. The infrastructure you need to know. Wherever you go, you need to know. So you can explore if you want to verify it, right? You can explore. You can study online. What Satish said is correct or not, you can study online, but this is fundamental. That's your act. I mean, that's actually on the right path. If you want to go into the security way, yeah, get the infrastructure knowledge, then go to security, go advanced security level of certification. That's actually good. Rizwan, I'm not the right person for that. You need to contact the, uh, Visualpath admins. They will contact you. Leave your contacts here. Leave your contact email address and phone number. Everybody, please do that. You will definitely be in touch with, get in touch with the administrator. So here I'm here fully on the technical part. So
Hello.
yeah. Yeah, Ravi. Ravi, yes, if you're already working on it, it is good. The similar set of concept, but implementation, everything is entirely different. Yeah, sorry, who are unmuted and talk? I'm sorry, I was answering Ravi. I'm really sorry. Can you talk again? Bala, I can hear you. I think you are talking now, right now. Is it? You unmuted. I see you unmuted.
Hello.
Yes.
Satish, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bala. Yes.
Sorry about that one. Sorry to interrupt
No
everyone
problem.
actually. So actually, yeah, I put the question actually in the chat when it was not
Uh,
able to hear.
which one? Okay, it is a
Uh,
solution. No, solution architect and admin is a little bit different. Solution architect mostly focus on, on the architecture part. Here we are focusing on implementation part, right? So solution architect mostly on the theoretical one. Solution architect course, if you see, right?
mhm.
That's fully of theoretical certification. Basically, what you're talking, right? It's on the 305 exam, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Solution
you are right.
architect. So
Yeah,
that's basically on the theoretical part. For that also, this 104 is a fundamental. If you want to architect something, you need to know about the infrastructures. But if you are focusing, I'm not a technical guy architecture, you can directly go for it, but for that you just need a theoretical knowledge of it. But if you look at the page of the actual Microsoft page for that certification, right, solution architect, you
yeah,
need the very first level certification is the Azure administration. The very first level for everything is Azure administration.
yeah. I have come
Second
across the
level
C.
you need to have the, yeah,
No, go on, go on. Sorry
sorry.
to interrupt. Go on, go on, go on. You
No,
go on.
maybe I can just show you the AZ305 what you're talking about, right?
Hmm.
So how it is designed, see, designing the Microsoft infrastructure, Azure infrastructure, right? Oh, okay.
Hmm.
305 is for the designing the infrastructure. It is one of the requirement for solution architect. Now I'll go with the architect, not 1305. I think I'll directly go with Azure Solution Architect Expert. There is an expert certification. This is what you're talking about, right? So
For
for
expert, we
this,
need.
the
Yeah. Hmm.
exactly first level is Azure administration. If you look at second,
Hmm.
you also need to have the design knowledge. This is actually 305. 305 is theory part full of. There is no implementation. It's full of theory, and this is full of implementation. Combining these two is basically a solution architect.
That is expert actually.
Yeah, exactly. To clarify.
The reason why I'm asking you is because the syllabus I have
Mhm.
come across, the same syllabus is there for the 305. For whatever we have in the admin, we have the same syllabus in
Exactly
the admin. Yeah,
the same syllabus, but the only thing is it is fully on theory part. Whatever we are seeing here, right, on the
mm,
design, this is not actually the implementation. So this is full of theory part.
yeah,
Whatever we are seeing here, and
yeah, yeah.
whatever we are seeing for 104, the same set of syllabus, but actually, it is on the implementation. We are going to see all in the hands-on part. Same set of syllabus, but see, manage, implement, infrastructure, deploy. This is basically like implementation.
Yes, yeah. That's what. That's the reason why I'm asking actually. There's a completely difference is a small difference is there. Only the implementation point of view. That's it.
Yes, this will for your if you're looking for the career switching for job or anything, this 104 gives you a hands-on experience. But if you go
Okay,
for just 305 and look for job, it will just give you design knowledge where you will not have any hands-on knowledge,
okay,
right?
okay.
And these two is needed for a solution architect. For a
Oh,
solution architect is just a certification, right? And that will help you for the job definitely. But for anything, this 104 is a funda. All right. I see some questions. Sorry. Do we need any programming knowledge? No need, Arjun. It is on the administration side. It's completely on the administration side. All right. Yes. Do we have the session is only online? We have classroom. This is online, Ravi. Completely on online. Yeah. Any other questions, folks? Yeah. Duration. I said about 5 to 6 week is the duration we will have we will have to cover all the hands-on part of whatever we have seen in the syllabus. So Yeah. Any other question? Okay. What's the duration? Will you touch on MS Graph based? No, not on Graph based. MS Graph based is not relevant here. On Azure part, I'm talking about. So we are not going to cover on that, Abhishek. Okay. And it is 2 hours. It is 1 hour class, Bala. Every day 1 hour we will have. Not 7 days, 5 days program. Like Monday to Friday we will have. No, no problem, no problem. Ask your question. Keep your questions posted. If you're not, clarified with some questions, keep posted. Don't worry about it. So I'm talking about even when you're not sure about some topics or any clarifications, keep me posted immediately. No problem at all. No, no, not on the coding. Yeah, timing, I think I informed, but again, timing, you will be reached out individually. We'll have preferred timing with everyone, and we will have it. So mostly in the morning time, we'll discuss about the timing. Yes, we need to create. You need to create your personal account. In that, you can practice it. Krishna, you get in touch with the Visualpath administrators. You can discuss about that. Okay. Uh, Yeah, so about the class, weekend classes or weekdays, we do not have the weekend class so far. But yeah, you can discuss about the classes and timing. The all the administrator administration thing, you will be contacted, or you can contact this number. I will just keep the numbers posted. I think the Visual Path has contacted, right? All the administrator related things, please contact this number, which will they will give you the complete information about the course or the fee or whatever that logistic things you're asking about. All right. Okay. What kind of any specific out of the box, as in in the general principle, what we are implementing day to day in our cloud, best practices, those things I will talk about. But out of the topics, out of the box, as in the general topic, or how maybe we can have a casual discussion last 5 minutes of some classes, but I'm not sure what topic you're asking about, Chandru. I'm sorry. Uh, maybe I missed the context. If you can clarify. All right. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. You can get in touch with the Visual Path administrators. They will reach out to you for all kind of things, and we will come back. Thanks, everyone. Good day, all. Thank you.
Thank you, Satish. Yeah.
Yeah, like retired videos which are not included in content. Chandu will discuss this. Maybe we can discuss this in the further classes. Chandu. Okay. Don't worry about the recording things. Okay. You will get it. Thank you, everyone. Thanks
So,
all. Good day.
sorry, Satish. Last
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you
Go ahead.
tomorrow? Tomorrow, do you have class or Monday?
You will be contacted. The next class you will be contacted, and depends on the schedule, timing. Everyone, get
Okay.
aligned into it. Based on the things, we will continue. Okay, from Monday it will be most probably, but you will be contacted individually. Don't worry about it. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. I think everyone left your contact here, right? You guys please leave your contact email address. You'll be contacted for sure. Thanks all. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, Satish. Bye.